Hey everyone, Namaste and welcome to the 32nd episode of Yoga Shakti with me, Shailaja Menon, here on this wonderful platform of Anand TV. Now, before we step into the practice, just going over the purpose of practice. Why do we practice yoga? Right? So we go back, as always, to the scriptures, and especially one of the main scriptures that we are always referring to is the Yoga Sutras, yeah, the Patanjali Yoga Sutras. And there he says, he gives in the second chapter, he talks about the reasons that we practice, right? So he says, Yoga Anga Anusthanat Ashuddhi She Jnana Deepti Aviveka Khyate. So he says, through the practice of the limbs of yoga, right? So we have yamas, niyamas, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. So through the practice of all these different limbs of yoga, Ashuddhi Sheye, yeah, the Ashuddhi or the impurities that we all hold within ourselves, that weakens. And when that weakens, what happens? Our inner light or luminosity is revealed. So it's important to know that this light is present within all of us, but it is just that it is covered by the strength of the impurities. But as the impurities weaken, that beautiful inner light, that Jyoti, is revealed, and we are also awakened to our discerning intellect, our Viveka Khyati. So, with this beautiful verse in mind, we are going to go into a sequence that evokes strength from us. So, we all need strength to awaken to our full potentiality, to get past our, to work against our impurities, our patterns that keep us, caught in unhelpful and unhealthy ways. So, towards that, towards strength, let us work our practice today. Okay, so I hope all of you have a chair handy and just be seated on the chair. Keep the feet in front of you, knees pointing straight forward. And we're just going to begin with some movements, actually just sitting and standing on the chair to help strengthen the thigh muscles. Yeah, so later on, we're going to be going into deeper squats. So for those of you who find the squats difficult, you can always use this chair option. Yeah, so which is why I'm doing this in the beginning. And this is also good, for elderly people who don't want to squat fully to do this on an everyday basis. Yeah, so from here, as you inhale, just press down on your feet and rise up. So try to move as slowly as possible. Yeah, because the slower you move, actually, the more, it strengthens your muscles. And as you exhale, just slowly moving back and coming down. So have a good idea where your chair seat is. Inhale and rising up. So just moving with the breath. As you exhale, deliberately releasing the hips down. And inhale and rising up. Exhale and lower down. Yeah, so I'm just adding on some shoulder movements, right, to bring in some mobility into your shoulder joint. So as I'm going to just lift my arms up here. Yeah, so this really helps to bring some mobility into the shoulder joint. And then as I stand up, I'm going to release the hands down. Exhale, lower down. Yeah, so inhale, rising up. Exhale and lower down. Yeah, so just knowing that the more you can take your shoulders back, the greater is the shoulder flexion that you achieve. Exhale and lower down and sit down. Okay, now we're going to go into two movements that are going to help stretch the back of the legs as well as the upper body, the spine. And we're also going to work on strengthening the front thigh muscles, the quads, yeah, which is a very important component for knee health. So to begin with, we're working on stretching. So just hold the hands behind your head. Try to keep your spine as long as possible. And then each time you exhale, just slowly come forward and just come forward as much as you can, keeping the spine long. Yeah, so the thing that I'm trying to emphasize here is to not round the spine. Yeah, because sometimes we think we just somehow have to get the head to the knee. So we're just rounding the spine, and that's all bad for the spine. Yeah, so spine long and move from the pelvis. Yeah, the tilt has to come forward from the pelvis. So just go as far as you can, maintaining that. Yeah, as you exhale, just moving forward, finding your point, holding that point. Inhale and slowly come back up. Again, as you exhale, moving forward, finding that point. Inhale and coming forward. And last round, folding. Just find your best position. Really be aware of your spine. Keep your elbows lifting so that the heart space remains open. And slowly inhale and straighten. And exhale and release your hands. Yeah, and then slowly change. So take that right leg down, left leg going up, and then from here, just take your hands behind the head like you did earlier, right? And then maintaining the spine long as you exhale, moving forwards. Yeah, so initially they may be just small pulses. Again, as you exhale, coming forward, just really being aware of the back of your legs, being aware of your spine, being aware of the pelvis, being aware of your breath. Moving with awareness, and of course, enjoying the movement. Enjoy feeling your body stretch. Enjoy feeling that open heart, open chest. Okay, and then last round, I'm going to go forward and hold. And slowly rising up and release the leg. Yeah, now we're going to work on the strength component to this. So lift the right leg up to the chair, and then from here, try to lift the leg straight up. Yeah, lift the heel of the chair, for which you have to strongly engage your quadriceps and hip flexors to help you lift the leg off the chair. So it's important not to bend your knee. Yeah, so we can always bend the knee and do this, but that's not what we're looking at. We're looking at keeping the knee really straight and engaging the muscles of the leg to strengthen the leg. Yeah, so it would be something like this. So in the beginning, the pulses may be very small. Yeah, so maybe just somehow you manage to get it off, right? But keep working on it, keep strengthening your front thigh muscles because this is very important for knee health, right? So this is the biggest muscle that supports the knee. So the strength of the quads is very important. And take the leg off. Yeah, so working with the left side. So as you inhale, keep the leg forward. Okay, and you can even plantar flex your feet, keep the toes pointing forward. And as you lift the leg, try to keep the rest of the body straight. Yeah, so sometimes the tendency is for the body to go back to lift the leg. Yeah, so that means other parts of the body are working and not the area that we want to target. Yeah, so try to keep your body in line as you lift the leg. And lower down. Okay, continuing to work on the legs. So there is a position called Utkatasana that we do. So just going into 6 rounds of that, again, just do as best as you can. Yeah. So as you inhale, your hips go back and your arms go up. Yeah. So it's literally like you're sitting on the chair. Yeah. As you exhale, straighten and arms come down. Yeah. So as you inhale, hips go back, arms go up. Exhale and lower down. Yeah. So remember the work we were doing with the chair earlier? Inhale and up. Exhale and down. And then the last round, you see whether you can hold for like 6 counts. Yeah. Slowly straighten up. Okay. And the last few rounds, you're going to try to sit all the way to the floor. Yeah. So as you exhale, just going down. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, going down. Inhale, rising up. Be very aware of your knees, your ankles. Okay, now we're going to combine it with some upper body strength as well. And I hope you are enjoying the practice so far. So remember, we talked about all the Ashuddhi, right? So to be able to shaya the Ashuddhi, we need to be able to put in solid strength work, right? So as you inhale, lift the arms up, folding down, and then release the hands to the floor and working forward. Yeah, so working into a plank position. And from here, just bend the knees, walk back up into this position called Malasan, and then you can just rise up and release. Yeah, so just as you go down again, we're doing 4 rounds here. Down, hands down, walk forward, feel the plank, bend the knees, walk back, and rising up and lower down. Inhale, arms up, hands down, move forward, walking back and rising up. Last round here, lower down, walking forward, moving back, lift the arms up as you come up and down. Okay, now we're going to move into another variation of this. So as you're going down, arms up, lower the hand down, and then move into plank, right? And then all of you remember the side plank, I hope. Just turn to your side, lift the arm up, look up, lower down, and then turn to the opposite side, lift the arm up, look up, lower down, and keep the knees bent as you walk back into Malasan and coming up and lower down, walking forward, turn to your side, look up, turn to the other side, look up, lower down, knees down, and arms up. Lower down, walk forward, turn to your side, look up, turn to your other side, look up, lower down, coming back into Malasan, and last round. Okay, so we have one more set of variations here with the strength work. So let's just get on with it. Lower your hands down, moving into plank. And then the difference here is you're going to try to shift weight to the side as you lift your palm towards the opposite shoulder. Yes, you're going to go this way. Yeah, and then you're going to try to come back. Yeah, and then rising up. Lower down, just going down. You're going to go here, and then you're going to go here. So I'm just exaggerating it a bit so that you can see the action. Yeah, the hand touches the opposite shoulder. Yeah, and even when you turn the other way, it's the same action. So bend the knees up. The thing is also to try to do it with minimal movement. Yeah, so try to just not shift the hips so much. Some shifting, of course, will happen, but to just be aware of it and keep it to the minimum. Last round. Okay, and then we're moving into this segment to help strengthen the lower back, the glutes, the hamstrings, all of them. Yeah, so this is a variation of a very classical position called Purvottanasana, and it's generally called the table pose. So press down through your feet, keeping the knees bent, and lift your hips up as high as you can. Yeah, so if you notice, my shoulders and wrists are in line, and I'm trying to work my hips up so that I can get my shoulders, hips, and knees in line. Yeah, and then as you exhale, slowly lower down. Yeah, so you're just doing 4 rounds of this. As you inhale, press down through your feet, rising up through the hips, feeling the strength as you stay up. Exhale, slowly lower down. Inhale and rising up. Exhale and down. And last round, rising up. Exhale and lower down. Yeah, so just we're going to continue with a variation of this. So those of you who found this extremely easy can try this variation. Of course, if you found this challenging, then you can just continue doing the same thing. But try to bend your knees and just keep the foot across, yeah, like this, right? So your right foot goes across the left thigh, and then you're going to go back into this position. Yeah, so if your hips are open, your knees will go out. If your hips are kind of tight, then you'll find the knees coming in, and that's okay. Yeah, that's just because of the hips. So wherever you are is fine, right? So you're going to do the same thing, press down through that left foot and lift the hips up. Exhale and lower down. Inhale and rising up. Exhale and down. Inhale and up. Exhale and down. And last round, inhale and up. Exhale and down. Yeah, and then you're changing legs here. So your left foot will come across. So just find your point and then doing the same thing. Inhale and rising up. Exhale and down. Inhale and up. Exhale and down. Inhale and up. Exhale and down. Inhale and up. Exhale and down. Yeah, and then slowly release your legs. Just take your arms around your thighs, lengthen through your spine. Okay, now we're going to go into the classical Purvottanasana, which requires you to keep your legs straight and can be a bit more challenging. So those of you who find it challenging can just do the previous position, right? And then if you have blocks, it's also good to use blocks. It helps you a little bit more with the lift. So just placing your palms, when you place your palms, make sure your fingers are pointing in. Yeah, so that's a way that you place your palms here. And then straighten your legs. And as you inhale, just really press down through your heels and lift the hips up. Yeah, exhale and lower down. Yeah, so just doing this a few times, inhale and rising up. And also remember the feet come down, the fronts of the feet go towards the floor. Exhale and lower down. Inhale and rising up. Exhale and lower down. And last time, just go up and hold for a bit. And slowly lower down and hug the knees to your chest and lengthen through your spine. So as a last position here, we're going to work into Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, the bridge position, and we're just going to use blocks as well. Yeah, so blocks helps us to get a much better lift. So those of us whose muscles are not so strong, it gives us a boost. So just place your feet on the blocks. So keep the blocks in a vertical position, yeah, so they fit your feet. And then lie back, and then like you would lift your hips in the bridge. Yeah, it's the same action, right? So press down through your feet as your hips rise up. Just hold it here. Exhale and slowly lower down. Yeah, so in fact, the closer that you bring your hips to the feet, the higher will be the lift. Okay, so again, inhale and rising up. Okay, so try to make sure that your knees and your heels are in line, your feet are pointing straight forward, right? Feel the beautiful deep engagement of the glutes, the lower back muscles, the thigh muscles. Feel the lift of the lower back, the mid back. Exhale and lower down. Okay, so each time you lift, you try to lift a little bit more, trying to get all the way to the upper back. Exhale and lower down. And if we're really careful of the neck, yeah, make sure that the neck is aligned with your spine. So even if I'm speaking, I'm trying not to look at the camera, which I usually do, because that could put a crick on my neck, right? Because there's so much of weight and then I'm moving it. So be very conscious of the alignment of your neck and make sure that your knees and heels are somewhat in line at least. Yeah. Last position. So just going up and stay. So here you can even roll your shoulders and then try to clasp your fingers together. That allows your hips to lift up, your spine to lift off, feeling that beautiful space along the spine. Press down through the inner edges of your feet because otherwise the knees will tend to splay out. So really being aware of the feet, the weight on the feet, the orientation of your knees, the engagement of the glutes, the orientation of your shoulders, your neck, and slowly lower down. Release your shoulders, hug the knees to your chest. So we've come to the end of this episode, and I truly hope you have enjoyed this strength practice as much as I have enjoyed putting it together for you. And I hope that the whole practice goes towards ashuddhishe, towards weakening our impurities. And I see that as these unconscious patterns that hold us tight in their grip, these patterns of laziness, procrastination, sloth, blame game, playing the victim, right? Pointing fingers always at the outside world, never looking within. So, all of these patterns are ingrained in all of us. And it's important that we see them and we weaken these patterns so that our inner light and luminosity, that Jyoti, can shine bright and be revealed as we also awaken to our higher discerning intellect. Namaste.